Lions fans, what's going on? It's Victory Monday. And in this Victory Monday, we're going to keep things on a positive note today. Yeah, we're going to talk about yesterday, but I have that serious question to ask you guys before we get into this video. Do you think we have a team, the capability, the grit to go up against a LA Rams team and Matthew Stafford, who's playing at an MVP level, and an Eagles team who lost a devastating game yesterday versus Dallas? Do you think those are the two that are in the way of our Detroit Lions getting to the Super Bowl? For me, yesterday I said I was out on the Super Bowl, but after what I watched, I think I want to retract that statement. Let's talk about it.
Hey, King paying for gas.
All right, Lions fans, so let's get into this, right? Before we talk about yesterday, when you're looking at the NFC picture and you look at the LA Rams team with Matthew Stafford, 30 touchdowns, 2 interceptions this season, MVP level type of play on Matthew Stafford. Us as Lions fans, especially myself, because of how I felt and how I've argued on the behalf of Matthew Stafford, I don't want to see him win another Super Bowl before we even get to one, because I know what's going to come out of me personally. When you look at an Eagles team that absolutely embarrassed themselves on TV yesterday, and when you look at the matchup that we had against the Eagles, where I personally felt like we beat ourselves that game, because of these woes that we've been having with the offense. I think the Detroit Lions still have a path to get there. And it's going to play, obviously, how the seeding goes. Of course, we got to worry about our own division right now. We have a monumental game coming up in just a couple of days on a short week against Green Bay that we have to have. On the fortunate side, that it's a home game. That helps out a lot. But we can't go and have these hiccups in that Green Bay game. We have to beat Green Bay. We have to beat our two division opponents for the rest of the way out. We cannot lose this game. And the Green Bay Packers, I'm probably sure, feel the same way. So this game is going to be explosive. It's going to be a hard-fought game. But we have to have it. We have to have it. If we have any serious aspirations on getting to the playoffs and make some noise and actually trying to get to that goal, we have to have this game. And then when I look at a Dallas team who's found new life, who came back from 21 down yesterday to beat an Eagles team, that's another check on the schedule for another big game for the Detroit Lions, which at first, I thought would be an easier victory for them. This is a very, very serious situation, man. When you look at the way that the NFC is chalked up, we're currently in the hunt right now, sitting at 7-4. So, yeah, we have to take care of business the whole way out. And that leaves little room for error, which concerns me, especially when you got guys that are injured and that are also coming back from injured, trying to get themselves back into game form. But also, we have new offensive play calling from Dan Campbell. We have some chemistry issues going on right now between Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown. our offensive line is banged up. And when I watched the game again early this morning, those guys are giving it everything they have, man. That is not an easy situation. I was listening to TJ Lang on the radio today at 97.1, and he said exactly what I saw on tape. Guys like Taylor Decker out there hurt is playing pretty solid for what it's worth. Not getting credit. We only talk about Decker when he gives up a sack, like he's not supposed to ever give up a sack ever. Playing the toughest position on a offensive line. Usually the team's best player is lined up on his side. You have the occasional Burns and guys like that you may see go up against Penei Sewell, but left tackle, we all know it's the toughest position to play. And when you're playing it unhealthy and you're trying to withstand, some of these powerful guys coming at you constantly, got to give Taylor Decker credit. I just do. Guys like Glasgow has moments where, it's tough for him. He's getting beat. But there's times where he's stout out there that nobody talks about. Offensive line is up and down. They're injured. And you got a lot of youth also. So can't get down too bad on those guys. And I will concur with Dan Campbell and what he said in his press conference. Those guys did a pretty good job yesterday. Because, listen, New York, forget the record. I tell y'all, but these past couple of games, any point before that, forget that with that old regime. That defense has been solid. And that front is nasty. You've seen Barnes cause problems yesterday. Burns is a beast. And, like I said, got to give credit to him because Jared Goff was able to have a pretty decent game yesterday. He threw one interception that wasn't his fault. It was simply because Amon-Ra St. Brown didn't catch the football. And that's not on Goff, man. Goff had a solid game yesterday. Yeah, we would like more offensively because we're spoiled. We are a spoiled fan base. We expect them to go out and give 30-plus every single time that they go out there. But he was solid. And Jahmyr Gibbs, once again, those holes got open because of the front in front of him. So you seen after the game when they gave out the game balls, Dan Campbell made sure he mentioned that. It's more than just Gibbs being explosive. Those holes were open. Penei Sewell opened that big hole for that last big run. He put his arms up as soon as Gibbs got past him. He knew it was over. And receivers that blocked too. So things contribute. And just because it was the Giants yesterday, and it was the reason why I gave the warning before that game, the Giants are obviously a different team. They just fired the defensive coordinator this morning, which I thought did a pretty solid job against the Lions yesterday. Yeah, the Lions dropped some passes yesterday, but for what it was worth, I thought they did pretty solid. But they're moving in a different direction, and they're serious. They're trying to flip things over and get back to the Giants of old. So when we look at this Green Bay game, Jordan Love, the limited weapons that he does have on the offense right now, we don't know the injury statuses right now as far as Green Bay. And that's something that we'll have to keep an eye on. I don't want to go into this game and have a lapse on the offense. I think our defense, they're going to do a solid job against Jared Goff. I don't want to go and have the offensive lapse that we've been having. That's my concern. So we got to go out there with the chemistry. We got to go out there and be sharp. We have to go out there hungry, like we know how important this game is. We got to use our resources. We got to use Jahmyr Gibbs out in the flats. We got to J-Mo. We got to use these guys. We can't go in and be questioning why didn't this guy touch the ball and why didn't that guy touch the ball. We got to take care of business, man. We got to put our foots on their neck. And we know it's going to be problems, with coming from their defense with Parson and those guys over there. When you look at our offensive line, that's not healthy. On a short week. Tough. That's a tough situation. So, it's Man, of course, we're going to be watching the other two opponents in our division, but the NFC in general, just like I said before, mentioning the schedules and the matchups that we have to face ourselves and who these teams are going to play, this is going to be a crapshoot at who's on top at the end of the season. And that's why Thursday is, man, it's like a mini bowl for the Lions. Like, we got to be chewing on turkey at the end of that game. We got to be chewing on turkey at the end of that game. We cannot drop this game against Green Bay. That's where it is, man. But again, I'm glad we did get the victory yesterday. And when it comes to the Super Bowl aspirations, man, that I have, my confidence is down. But I still think there's a possibility in a roadway for the Detroit Lions to get there. So let me know what you guys think. I already posed a question. A lot of you guys have been answering it about us getting to the Super Bowl and how you guys are feeling. But if you want to share again, if I made you feel a little bit more at ease, fine. Leave it in the comment section. But teams have tough games, man. They have surprise games. They go through stretches. It doesn't mean that we're totally a drop-off. The Detroit Lions are entitled to go with what they're going through right now. The timing might not be the greatest, but I've seen it too many times. Been watching football for 30 years, man. It happens. I've seen guys like Tom Brady win Super Bowls off the wings of his defense after playing horrible football games. So it's not a matter of Jared Goff can win us a Super Bowl. It's if the Detroit Lions can go to a Super Bowl and win. Quarterbacks, I say all the time, get a lot of too much praise, and they get a lot of unnecessary blame. So with that said, I'll see you guys later this week. Peace.